What's up, boys? Petko here. I was just about to go to bed, but as I was going in, I saw Blizzard just pushed a beta, I guess, the War Within dungeon changes, which will pretty much influence the everything. And that was like what, 3 days before the expansion. So let's dive right into it. So first thing first. Greetings, Dungeoneers. As we continue to review community responses for the future adjustments, yada yada yada. Okay, let's read it. First of all, Grim Batol, they added a new checkpoint after General Umbris is defeated. General Umbris is the first boss of the dungeon. This is extremely good. Previously, they did not have anything like this, so it was pain in the ass. If you died, for example, after the first boss, or even wiped on a second boss, you would spawn at the beginning of the instance. You're gonna take like what, a minute to get back to the second boss. So most definitely a very good quality of life change here. Moving forward towards Tred'ova. This is pretty much the channel cast that she casts twice per fight. Consumption. This is actually quite concerning. Duration increased. So it's gonna give you a lot more time to actually try to break the shield. But as you climb the higher level keys, at least when I was doing 13s, it felt like you had to hold some kind of offensive cooldowns to break the shield. Otherwise, it becomes increasingly hard for your healer to heal up. So, again, I'm a bit concerned about consumption damage itself because it was hitting for very hard on like 13. So, yeah, I'm not sure about the overall scaling here. They might consider nerfing that in the future. Overall, a positive change. Necrotic Wake. Now, pay attention. This is the juicy stuff. Enemy forces required has been increased. So now you gotta kill more trash pack. Which, again, it wasn't really a problem back then, so it shouldn't be a problem even now. Bloody Javelin initial damage and periodic damage reduced. Now, how much is that being reduced? I will talk about that in the following few minutes. So, stick here. Zoramon's Gatekeeper is pretty much the massive mob right at the start of the dungeon. Those guys that usually avoid pulling. Summon Patchwork Soldier, health reduced. Again, you would like to avoid them at all costs because they are very hard to kill. They are extremely dangerous because they do mass AoE to everybody, and they also they don't give, these Patchwork Soldiers don't give any count. So they spawn them, they don't give any count, which is actually very bad. Unless they've actually changed that today, sure, but they used to not give any count. Buyback Disgusting Guts no longer damages creatures. It was killing your pets before. Good quality of life change. Brittle Bone Warrior health reduced. Brittle Bone Mage health reduced. Okay. Siege of Boralos enemy forces required increased. Interesting change. Now you gotta kill more enemy forces. They make in Siege harder dungeon. Avanox Arakara. Avanox is the first boss of the Arakara. Static Crawler health reduced, which is pretty much those 4 spiders that used to spawn. They have less health now. Overall good change. Gussamer Onslaught damage reduced. That's really good for you. Dawnbreaker enemy required increased. It's gonna become harder. You gotta play more mobs in a Dawnbreaker. Skeleton Unbreakable now spawns inside the Church of the Sacred Flame. This was, I believe, the first guy to the right. As soon as you kill the first boss, it used to be linked to the pack in front of, which made it extremely hard to kill. This is going to be very good quality of life change for majority of the pack players, so definitely a big W here. Reduce the total number of creatures spawning around the entrance to the Church of Sacred Flame. Again, exactly what I was talking about. There was 2 void spawns there that did mass AoE as soon as they were like dropping, I think, below 35%. So this is actually extremely good change from Blizzard. Very good. I said it on stream multiple times. This was about to make this dungeon pretty much unplayable because it was hard to deal with this even on a +10. Imagine on like hierarchies, you know. W in Blizzard. Anubakashi is the second boss. Shadowy Decay damage reduced. Good thing. Gonna do less AoE now. Rashaden's last boss reduced pacing of abilities in phase 2. Big W, by the way. So now P2 is gonna be much easier. This boss, by the way, again, I'm gonna push dungeon guides very soon for everything. P2 is the most important encounter. P1 is just dying by itself because you throw the bombs or against the barriers to the boss, so actually very good. Spinner rate strands initial and periodic damage reduced. Very good. This is the spider webs you were getting on NP2. So very good change. Moving forward to the more specific things. So let's see how much things have changed. Dawnbreaker. Total count requirement increased to from 460. No, increased to 460 from 430. So pretty much like looking at like 8% more count. So pretty much you gotta pay like 1 pack and a half. But the Nightfall Shadow Stalker gives now 5 count instead of 3 count. Quite interesting. So this might make it, instead of pulling 1.5 pack, only 1, or trying to prio packs where Nightfall Shadow Stalker is actually present. Either way, it's actually a good change here. Good. Siege of Boros. Let's see. So they increased the count to siege, right? But let's see what they did. Iron Tide Powder Shot now gives you 4 count instead of 1. So it went from 319 count to 494. This is almost double the count you have to do in siege. But again, every single mob is gonna give you more. Powder shots, they're pretty easy to kill. Wave Shapers are the casters here, pretty easy to kill. Now they give more count. Blight, Rat, Tempest are the guys after the second boss. Now they give almost double the count. Demolishers give almost 10 count. Those are the big dudes that fear. Pillagers, again, the casters give almost double the count. Cannoneers, double the count. Wow, that's actually really good. Deck count, they got nerfed. Those are the small mobs here. Got nerfed quite a bit. That's interesting. Commander give 10 count. That's a big horse. Shredder give more. Iron Raider, Wave Shaper. So yeah, pretty much like every single mob gives more count except the deck counts. And if my memory doesn't evade me, those deck counts used to be like the non-elite mobs that you used to tag for like mobs. Let me check right now. They only used to do like slash ability, right? Those were like the non-elite mobs that weren't really a concern, but now they, yeah, okay, yeah, these are the non-elite mobs with slash. Yeah, here you go, swipe, yeah. So again, it doesn't really matter overall. This might not change the pacing of siege. I would try it again on beta before the expansion comes out, but I would expect this to be something that you guys shouldn't be concerned about it, because think about it. Siege of Bottles, we used to do a plus 12 several days ago with like 2 chests. The count is not a problem. You were forced to skip some mobs because you had so much count. So I don't think that's going to be a big issue, especially given the fact that you're actually getting all of those mobs having almost twice the count as before. So overall, it doesn't really matter. Necrotic Wake, however, increasing the count from 283 to 332. So that's going to be like 20%, 18% more count. That's going to be like, what, 2-3 packs more probably. Skeleton Monstrosity now gives 20 count. That is the big mob before the second boss. If you remember, the big guy that with like a, you know, with a big swipe. Everybody used to skip it. Now it gives a lot of count, so maybe you want to play it. Naruto Dulai is the mini boss that was again before the second boss. It gives now 20 count instead of 15. You still want to skip this mob. It's extremely hard to play. Marauders now give 10 count. You were playing those all the time, so that's actually pretty good. And then Zoramus Gatekeeper. Wow, okay, now it gives 15 count. It used to be only 6. This is actually huge. You might actually have to be forced to play Zoramus Gatekeepers, because they give 2.5 times more count than it used to be. That is really, really good. And if you guys don't remember, those gatekeepers were the one that were spawning the mass AoE pretty much that we're just talking about. You know, so overall, this is actually pretty good. And by the way, those warriors and mages, I believe those are the mobs around the second boss area. You know, the second boss guy that spawns those guys, I think those are exactly the mobs here. It's either those guys or the spawns that you get after the first boss, you know, like the big caster dudes that spawn mobs. I think this could be also part of that. I'm unsure. So yeah, interesting change here. What else? Tred'ova consumption now last 10 minutes was 14 seconds. Again, so that's gonna pretty much make the shield, you know, it's gonna give you as much time as you need to break the shield. But again, remember, you taking damage every couple of seconds, so preferably break it very quick. Splinter shards, strands now deal 15% less damage. That's pretty what I just said about the last boss of Dawnbreaker. Pretty W change here. Shadowy Decay damage per tick reduced by 32%, but duration increased by 5 seconds. So this pretty much gives a room to counter the whole ability, because it used to be really hard to heal for like 4 seconds, but now it's much easier to heal, but you have to actually heal for like longer. So that actually makes it good, because you have a counter play. Just be good at the game, right? As a healer, or I guess using defensive as a DPS too. Minus 40% reducement for onslaught from the first boss of Avanox. That's actually pretty good. City of Threats Ram Dagger now ignores line of sight. Some people are trying to line of sight them. Okay, that's pretty good. Siege Battles Shredder initial damage increased by 85% and periodic damage increased by 33%. I believe those mobs are only present at the beginning of the dungeon, so that really shouldn't be a big concern. They were like charging on the back sometimes and like attack you. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a try, see what's up here. This might be actually big down on you. We'll see. And last thing but not least, Necrotic Wake. Now Javelin does 90% reduced initial damage and 93% reduced periodic damage. Wow, this is actually a huge nerf to Javelin. Wow, that's probably gonna make it useless, you know, in some cases. So interesting change. So Necrotic Wake will most definitely be a little bit harder than before. Anyway, guys, that's every change so far. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more news, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on stream. Peace out. Have a good one. And a bonus sneak peek TLDR. Invis potions are right now not gonna share any more cooldown with your battle potion. So you can use Invis potion and your battle potion at the same time, pretty much. Keep in mind one thing, however, is your Invis potion right now is 10 minutes cooldown. So you gotta use it mindfully. Right. Anyway, have a good night. Peace out.